all cleaned up.
It's all cleaned up. You can see the full size of the pit that they put in here. They
Yeah.
chopped right through that floor. The big capstones across the top.
A brave explorer, Josh Gates visited El Mirador out of curiosity and discovered something terrifying. He and his colleague, Dr. Richard Hansen, ventured deep into this ancient Mayan city.
Josh, this is one of the later buildings at the site. We're excavating to understand the whole sequence of occupation here, and then one of the later buildings.
El Mirador is renowned for its concealed history and legends, including the snake kings and gods like Chac, Kukulkan, and Itzamna. These ancient figures guard the unanswered questions of this lost civilization. Why do the answers seem to be out of this world? Let us explore why these ancient gods could well be aliens lost in time. The Maya's lasting culture in El Mirador. The ancient Maya culture's ability to last, especially in El Mirador, often stirs discussions among archaeologists. Surrounded by large nature reserves, this city's past durability seems linked to its environment. However, its main farming method, known as slash and burn, shows a clear mishandling of resources, leading to rapidly damaged soil because the land wasn't allowed enough rest between farming periods. This harsh farming approach probably made the Maya cut down more forests to create new farming land, starting a harmful cycle that damaged the environment. Although some believe there is proof of the soil being used up, the full impact of these farming practices on both nature and local communities is still being explored. Research is ongoing, and it might show that these practices were even more harmful than we initially thought. El Mirador is also known for its impressive engineering feats.
It's like they found anything.
Wow, this is crazy. When do you think someone came in here and tried to dig this thing out?
It had to have been decades ago. Looking by the erosion of the side.
The city features over 40 triadic structures, complex groups of 3 connected plazas, each meticulously designed and built with a specific purpose in mind. The site houses what is considered the largest pyramid in Mesoamerica, possibly the biggest ancient structure worldwide. The city was fortified by an extensive wall that encircled it entirely, intended to protect its inhabitants from possible attacks from nearby Tikal.
Wow. I mean, we see this snake symbol
1,000 years later.
1,000 years later, hearkening back to the Snake Kingdom.
Exactly.
The resources for this protective wall were moved from 17 miles away, a process that left surprisingly little trace of such a significant transport effort. Further digs at El Mirador have shown many residential areas outside this protective wall, suggesting that the area around the city was heavily populated with settlements. This city is often hailed as the largest and most sophisticated Mayan civilization. Its architecture, particularly noted for its large pyramids, was groundbreaking during the pre-classic period. These pyramids stand as some of the largest ever constructed in the Americas, showcasing the Mayans' architectural ambition and capability. While the architectural achievements and ecological mismanagement of El Mirador are well recorded, the city's history is complex, filled with both brilliance and perhaps short-sightedness. Continued research at this site may provide additional insights into how such a notable civilization could manage their resources so poorly, potentially leading to their decline. These ongoing studies not only help us appreciate Mayan architectural achievements, but also serve as a warning about the consequences of environmental misuse that could extend well beyond their era. The ancient Maya civilization is often praised for its exceptional writing system, one of the most complex in human history. Its contributions through writing and the celestial calendar have left a significant mark on history. The Maya culture, dating back to as early as 2000 BC, stands as one of the oldest in Mesoamerica. Their deep-rooted traditions and unclear origins add layers of complexity to their history. These early inhabitants of Mesoamerica displayed a consistent commitment to classical principles, demonstrating their advanced level of development through remarkable architectural and artistic achievements. The site of El Mirador serves as a key piece in this historical puzzle, providing crucial insights for ongoing research. It is here that archaeologists hope to find more pieces that fit into the broader context of Maya studies, setting high expectations for discoveries yet to come at El Mirador. El Mirador demands a detailed exploration, revealing more about the central aspects of the Maya civilization. Evidence from pottery found throughout the site indicates that it was inhabited from the Middle Pre-Classic period. By around 400 BC, El Mirador had expanded into the largest city in the Maya world, with a population reaching several 100,000 people. Its period of prominence continued into the early Classic period, making it one of the earliest Mayan cities. However, this golden era did not last forever. The end of this prosperous period was marked by increasing warfare and conflict across the lowlands, reaching its peak in the early Classic period with the fall of the great cities in the southern lowlands. This tumultuous time marked the decline of El Mirador, leading to its abandonment as new cities rose in the Payton Basin. The rise and fall of El Mirador are reflective of the broader cycles of growth and decay within the Maya civilization. While the city's achievements in architecture and writing are celebrated, these were not enough to sustain the city through periods of intense conflict and societal changes. The decline of El Mirador provides a poignant reminder of the transient nature of civilizations, showing that even the most advanced societies can face decline and eventual collapse. The ongoing studies at El Mirador are not just about uncovering the past, but also understanding the complexities of historical cycles of urban rise and decline. Researchers continue to piece together how such an influential civilization could rise to such heights and then fall into obscurity. Each new discovery at El Mirador adds depth to our understanding of the Maya, providing lessons on the dynamics of human societies and the factors that lead to their sustainability or decline. This comprehensive exploration helps frame our understanding of the Maya as a civilization of great achievements, shadowed by significant challenges. The historical account of the Mayan rulers and the archaeological team's objectives at El Mirador aims to clarify the complex past of the Mayan civilization through the discoveries they hope to uncover. This objective, however, simplifies the intricate and often unclear history that archaeological finds usually present. At El Mirador, the main focuses are the central city complex and what is believed to be the earliest known palace and cultural center, termed the Ancestors Complex. These sites are thought to validate the findings anticipated by the researchers, enhancing our understanding of Mayan history. The fall of El Mirador's great city left many puzzled about why such a smart and advanced civilization could not stop its decline and disappearance. Mayan lethal writing and scientific skills. El Mirador is renowned for its early establishment and substantial size, representing the height of ancient Mayan civilization. This aspect of Mayan achievement often overshadows the more complex, less straightforward aspects of their history that do not neatly fit into our idealized views of ancient advancements. The Mayans were not only pioneers in writing, but also in various scientific fields. Their achievements spanned from engineering, demonstrated by the construction of numerous pyramids and palaces, to the development of elaborate irrigation systems that supported their agriculture. They also made significant progress in the arts and sciences, notably in astronomy, which led to the creation of an incredibly accurate calendar, celebrated as a peak of their intellectual achievements. However, an equally significant facet of Mayan expertise was their mastery of warfare. This expertise led to the emergence of powerful city-states such as Dos Pilas and Calakmul, each driven by a desire to dominate the region. These states often engaged in fierce battles, with their power struggles reshaping the course of Mayan history. It was during such turbulent times that El Mirador rose to prominence as the first capital of the Khan Kingdom, thus becoming a crucial part of this historical narrative. Excavations conducted in the 1920s revealed more about El Mirador's tumultuous past, showing that it was a central stage for a Cold War between two of the time's superpowers, Tikal and Calakmul. The intense and ongoing conflicts during the 8th century led to multiple cycles of evacuation, reoccupation, and abandonment of the site. These findings draw parallels to the enduring impacts of warfare seen in various parts of the world today. Warfare is often viewed as a highly developed field of study, deeply complex and influential, shaping the fate of nations and cultures with its enduring impacts. It is not just about the immediate effects of battle, but also about the long-term scars left on societies. Scholars study historical conflicts not merely for academic interest, but to gather valuable lessons on the effectiveness and long-term consequences of different military tactics and strategies. In this context, the conflicts at El Mirador are particularly noteworthy, offering rich insights for those studying political and military history. The exploration of El Mirador, named the Darkest Hour, unfolded in the dense depths of the Guatemalan rainforest. Led by a guide whose background was unknown, the expedition team set out to uncover an ancient city that existed long before the modern era. This mission required them to endure several challenging days trekking through the dense jungle, battling the oppressive humidity that enveloped them. El Mirador, known as the heartland of the Maya civilization, was a site of significant historical importance marked by numerous conflicts throughout its history. In the early centuries of the first millennium AD, El Mirador was a bustling metropolis within the Maya civilization, with its residents leaving behind a wealth of information carved into stone monuments and structures. These artifacts stand as testaments to the city's vibrant past, filled with stories of human endeavor and conflict. As time passed, the once majestic city of El Mirador became engulfed by the surrounding jungle. Its monuments, which had stood as proud markers of a thriving culture, began to decay under the relentless growth of the forest, sinking into the earth as if weighed down by their historical significance. The city was gradually abandoned by its inhabitants, who left no trace behind, allowing nature to reclaim the land. Over the centuries, the memory of El Mirador faded, and the city became obscured by the dense vegetation, turning into a seemingly peaceful ruin hidden in the lush tropical forest. Yet, the calm appearance of El Mirador belies its turbulent past, filled with conflicts and survival struggles. This history is crucial for understanding the harsh realities faced by the ancient Maya. The story of El Mirador came to the attention of Josh Gates on January 2, 2017, through Dr. Richard Hansen, an American archaeologist and professor at Ithaca College renowned for his work in hazardous areas. Dr. Hansen had been granted special permission by the Guatemalan government to enter these dangerous regions, particularly the Payton area, which was notorious for its past conflicts. This permission was a milestone in the exploration of El Mirador, allowing further investigation into its complex history of human achievement and adversity. Dr. Hansen is recognized for his significant archaeological contributions, particularly in identifying several early Maya civilization sites within the Mirador Basin. The interaction between him and Josh seemed primarily intended to evaluate the resilience and capability of Josh's production team. Eager to demonstrate their toughness, Josh shared stories of navigating through dangerous waters in Africa while filming his show, Destination Truth, suggesting that his current team for Expedition Unknown was particularly skilled and daring. After a lengthy discussion, Dr. Hansen agreed to guide Josh and his team to El Mirador. Josh was thrilled by this opportunity, as El Mirador is not only a key archaeological site in Mesoamerica, but also a place known for its perilous conditions due to local conflicts. Choosing to bring a television production crew to the Payton, known for its dangerous environment, could be seen as a risky move. The appeal of documenting such a historically important site was irresistible for Josh and his team, despite the numerous dangers. Immediately upon their arrival, they encountered several challenges. The area was heavily covered with thick vegetation, making it extremely difficult for the team to move around and conduct their work. Dr. Hansen pointed out during the episode that even with sophisticated technology like LiDAR, they were only able to map a mere 2% of the entire site, illustrating the immense challenge posed by the dense jungle. Additionally, the local agricultural practices, specifically slash-and-burn farming, were causing further damage to the archaeological site, threatening its integrity and preservation. As the history of El Mirador still lingers, exploring this ancient site brings new dangers and many more questions to solve. Health risks in the Guatemalan jungle. Moreover, the team was at risk of contracting diseases such as malaria, dengue fever, and various skin infections, common in such remote and tropical areas. These health risks added another layer of difficulty to their expedition, complicating their efforts to explore and document the ancient ruins. The combination of environmental challenges, health risks, and the ongoing degradation of the site due to local farming practices made their mission not only difficult but also fraught with ethical considerations. Should the pursuit of uncovering historical truths justify exposing both the site and the team to such significant risks? While the thrill of discovering and documenting ancient sites drives many such ventures, the realities include battling harsh natural environments, mitigating the impact of human activity, and ensuring the safety of the crew. These factors must be carefully balanced against the potential gains of such explorations. The situation at El Mirador highlights the delicate interplay between preserving history and protecting the present, challenging explorers to consider the broader implications of their work beyond the immediate excitement of uncovering ancient relics. The search for the Danta complex in El Mirador was extremely challenging due to the huge size of the area. This site is full of large buildings and pyramids from the Maya pre-classic period. The team, guided by advice from Dr. Hansen, had some clues about where to find the complex, but it was still a tough task. Television footage showed the team repeatedly stopping to ask local farmers for directions just to find El Danta, which is said to be the largest pyramid in the world. The exploration of El Mirador has been a long and ongoing effort, starting from the discovery of hidden underground paths by explorers in the 1920s. More recent activities, led by the University of Arizona, have focused on detailed mapping of the area. During these explorations, an unusual discovery was made. Small Gothic-style spaces with three-lobed windows were found within the walls of many ruins. These unique architectural features had been overlooked until the late 1980s, when archaeologists uncovered the corners of these hidden paths, sparking renewed interest in the site. The excavation efforts have revealed large halls and passageways adorned with elaborate wall decorations and complex roofing structures. These areas are often decorated with sculptures of kings and gods. This network of vaulted paths and small connected rooms demonstrates an advanced level of engineering skill that coincided with the most influential period of the southern lowlands. It is believed that these structures indicate a significant collapse, possibly due to conflict, marking a dramatic end to the prosperity of El Mirador. Many of these architectural achievements were never completed, their unfinished and compelling forms providing a window into a vibrant past now gone. The loss of 22,000 acres of untouched forest in Guatemala to deforestation and burning as recently as April this year underscores the tension between preserving such historical sites and current economic activities. This destruction is particularly distressing, as it poses a threat to the preservation of sites like El Mirador, where every piece of history is invaluable. When delving into the remnants of the ancient Mayan civilization, one cannot help but ponder the purpose and significance of their relics. These artifacts, ranging from detailed calendars to advanced mathematical tools, underscore the remarkable intellectual prowess of these early inhabitants. These items not only highlight the Mayans' sophisticated understanding of science, but also provide insights into their spiritual beliefs and how they coped with the uncertainties of their environment. El Mirador, in particular, presents a rather foreboding atmosphere, evoking a sense of an unsettling past that almost seems plucked from a nightmarish tale. The sense of discomfort was particularly acute for an archaeological team led by Richard Hansen. Their travel involved descending 150 feet into a tunnel that concluded in a spacious chamber. The ambiance was marked by the flickering torchlight, casting long shadows that climbed the walls, enhancing the eerie feel of their surroundings. Here, they encountered a symbol composed of concentric circles with a scorched center, beautifully intricate yet suggestive of something more ominous. This encounter was just the beginning as they proceeded to uncover 4 murals painted on stucco shards. Each mural depicted vivid scenes of conflict and despair, telling stories of battles, profound suffering, and the eventual forced exodus of the Mayan people from their lands. The discovery of numerous statues methodically arranged around two shallow graves further adds to the intrigue of the site. These statues are thought to be part of a ceremonial burial setup. Although recent news articles have discussed these findings, there is a noticeable lack of mention in current scholarly works, which is puzzling. Assuming the reports are accurate, the careful placement of these statues around the graves suggests a deliberate attempt to honor the dead. Notably, the largest of these statues was positioned facing the north, overseeing the main burial site, as if guarding it. Since these graves were first uncovered in the mid-1980s, there has been considerable speculation about their purpose. This practice likely had deep cultural and spiritual significance for the Mayans, suggesting an organized approach to death and the afterlife. The deliberate placement of these statues, especially the guardian-like figure facing north, indicates a structured ritual significance, which remains only partially understood today. The presence of such artifacts offers a glimpse into the sophisticated cultural practices of the Mayans, highlighting their intricate rituals associated with death and remembrance. The team's search at El Mirador uncovers more than just ruins, revealing deeper puzzles and many untold stories. Burial customs of the ancient Maya. The excavation of 8 bodies in ancient tombs reveals much about the customs and social structures of the ancient Maya civilization. The individuals buried include young people, 2 of whom were identified as dwarves due to their unique physical traits, along with several older men. The presence of dwarves, adorned in the style of high-ranking figures yet depicted as bound in the carvings above their graves, suggests a significant but complex role within their society. In the culture of the Maya, such unusual physical traits were often viewed with a mix of honor and concern, possibly regarded as indicators of impending trouble. This practice points to a belief in an existence beyond death, where social and spiritual roles are carried over. The sophisticated carvings that decorated their burial site reinforce the importance of these individuals, showing them in a way that emphasizes their ceremonial significance. Supporting the idea that these individuals were sacrificed during ceremonially significant times, their graves were positioned near those of the elite, separated by structures that were traditionally built post-burial. It was typical for the Maya to construct significant buildings over the burial sites, with those sacrificed placed in special crypts beneath these structures. This suggests a deliberate intertwining of death rituals with social and architectural development, serving to maintain social structures even after death. Further insight into the Maya's ritualistic practices comes from the discovery of numerous broken and beheaded ceramic effigy censers. These artifacts, likely involved in rituals meant to communicate with or appease the divine, hint at complex ceremonies that were pivotal in seeking divine favor. Such rituals would have been essential, involving elaborate preparations and the belief that these actions could influence supernatural forces. Josh Gates recently made some important discoveries at El Mirador that help us understand the Maya people better. These findings show that the Maya were very connected to spiritual beliefs and closely followed the natural and cosmic laws. This proves that the Maya were not a simple society, but a complex one that combined practical and spiritual ways to manage their environment. This enriched understanding of Maya civilization underscores the broader theme of human society's engagement with spiritual beliefs and the afterlife. It highlights a universal pattern across cultures, the intricate ways in which societies organize themselves around spiritual beliefs and the inevitable, emphasizing the timeless human concern with life's larger questions and the world beyond. The supposed resting place of the Snake Kings, proclaimed as a key discovery in a long-forgotten city, has captured widespread attention and ignited significant academic interest. The intricate designs and symbols found on the walls of temples and various artifacts suggest a deep respect for the Snake Kings, believed to be rulers of great power and knowledge. However, this finding also prompts a slew of questions. Who were the Snake Kings, and how did they shape the rise and decline of the Maya civilization? What more can be found under the layers of earth in this ancient city, and how will these findings reshape our understanding of history? Josh Gates and his team continue to explore El Mirador and reveal hints of a sophisticated and complex society, deeply intertwined with spiritual elements and the natural environment. However, one might view these narratives with a hint of skepticism, wondering if they are merely feeding into a prefabricated storyline of historical grandeur, where each discovery conveniently fits into an existing framework. The renewed focus on Josh Gates's discoveries has put El Mirador back in the public eye, creating a wave of anticipation around the world. Each piece of information about the Snake Kings seems to lift a bit of the historical fog, or so it is portrayed. But are we really getting closer to the truth, or are we just spectators in a narrative meticulously designed to keep us engaged? The exploration of El Mirador and the Snake Kings continues to be a path filled with more questions than definitive answers. Each discovery invites both wonder and doubt, prompting us to consider whether we are approaching genuine understanding or merely constructing a more appealing version of history. The unraveling of this ancient city's past offers both a glimpse into a rich cultural heritage and a reminder of the challenges in deciphering the true essence of historical narratives. As researchers continue to dig and study, the story of El Mirador remains as complex and multifaceted as the carvings that adorn its ancient temple walls. The discoveries at El Mirador and the stories they hold connect to the larger and more troubled history of Guatemala. The Spanish conquest of Guatemala. The Mayan people lived in what is now known as Guatemala. The history of Guatemala is vast and varied, stretching from the time of ancient communities to today's challenges. The earliest signs of humans in this area go back to around 12,000 BC, with evidence of initial settlements by those who hunted and gathered for food. The Mayan civilization began to form around 2000 BC and was influential in shaping the cultural and historical framework of the region. The Mayans developed sophisticated methods of writing, astronomy, and building, constructing impressive cities like Tikal and Uaxactun. These cities were the hubs of governance, economy, and culture during the Classic period from 250 to 900 AD. The reasons behind the decline of the Mayan civilization around 900 AD are still studied. Various issues such as long periods of drought, overcrowding, and internal conflicts might have played a role in their decline. Even after their cities fell, Mayan cultural practices and traditions continued, particularly in the countryside. The Spanish began their conquest of Guatemala in 1523 when Pedro de Alvarado, who worked under Hernán Cortés, led a force into the area. This conquest faced strong opposition from the Mayans, especially in the mountainous regions. Nonetheless, by 1540, the Spanish had taken over and included Guatemala in the Viceroyalty of New Spain, which was governed from Mexico City. During the colonial era, Guatemala was a part of the Captaincy General of Guatemala, which also included today's Chiapas, El Salvador, Honduras, Nicaragua, and Costa Rica. The Spanish brought their own culture, religion, and economic systems, exploiting the indigenous people and their resources. The introduction of diseases from Europe also greatly reduced the native population. On September 15, 1821, Guatemala declared its independence from Spain. Initially, it became a part of the Mexican Empire, led by Agustín de Iturbide, but then joined the Federal Republic of Central America in 1823. This federation, which also included Costa Rica, El Salvador, Honduras, and Nicaragua, suffered from political instability and broke apart in 1838. After the federation ended, Guatemala emerged as an entirely sovereign state. In the years following independence, Rafael Carrera became a key political leader. Supported by conservative landowners and the church, Carrera started a revolt in 1837 and became the leader of the country, maintaining power directly or indirectly until his death in 1865. His governance restored many practices from the colonial period and supported established power structures. The period known as the Liberal Era in Guatemala started with the removal of Vicente Serna from power by Miguel Garcia Granados and Justo Rufino Barrios in 1871. Known as the Reformer, Barrios implemented several key reforms. He separated the roles of the church from the government, introduced changes to how land was owned and used, and boosted the production of coffee, which soon became Guatemala's primary export. His efforts to unite the countries of Central America ended abruptly when he died in 1885 during a military campaign in El Salvador. The early part of the 20th century in Guatemala was marked by continuous political instability. Manuel Estrada Cabrera assumed presidency in 1898 and ruled until 1920. His government was known for its oppressive nature, but also for notable progress in building infrastructure, such as railways, and initiating public health projects. His tenure ended when he was declared unfit to govern and was removed from power. Jorge Ubico took over as president in 1931 and established a dictatorial regime, drawing inspiration from the fascist movements in Europe at that time. His government was characterized by stringent control and suppression of dissent. However, in 1944, a wave of public protests became so overwhelming that Ubico was compelled to resign. This event marked the beginning of what is known as Guatemala's 10 Years of Spring, a decade characterized by democratic reforms and modernization efforts, led by Presidents Juan José Arevalo and Jacobo Arbenz. During this time, Arbenz initiated a land reform program that involved distributing unused land to peasant farmers. This policy caused friction with the United Fruit Company, a large American business, and strained relations with the U.S. government. In 1954, a coup orchestrated by the U.S. and led by Carlos Castillo Armas overthrew Arbenz. This coup ended the period of reforms and started a long era of rule dominated by the military. This time was marked by intense political oppression and the beginning of the Guatemalan Civil War in 1960, which continued for 36 years. The conflict caused deep suffering, particularly among the indigenous populations, with numerous violations of human rights, including mass killings and disappearances of people. Did Josh Gates uncover truths about the Snake Kings and ancient gods, or are these just myths created by time and imagination? Share your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to like and subscribe for more.